real estate series, Property Brothers. Everyone, please welcome the one and only Drew Scott.
You only see Drew Scott on TV, always radiant and seemingly perfect. But behind that image is a truth many people didn't know, one that came to light in 2019. It wasn't a scandal, but the result of intense pressure, exhaustion, and personal struggles that seriously affected his life. It all led him to step away from the spotlight and face one of the most difficult periods he had ever experienced. This wasn't just a minor issue. It forced him to confront his limits and change the way he lived. What caused this icon of perfection to reach that point? Let's uncover the real story of Drew Scott, a side of him not everyone has seen. But to understand what led him to that turning point, we have to go back to where it all began. Early life, the foundation on the family farm. Andrew Alfred Scott, known to the world as Drew, was born on April 28, 1978, in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. He was the youngest of 3 boys, arriving just 4 minutes after his identical twin brother, Jonathan Silver Scott. Their older brother, James Daniel, is 2 years older. Their parents, Jim and Joanne Scott, instilled a strong work ethic in their sons from an early age. Their father, Jim, had emigrated from Scotland and once worked in the film industry as an actor, stuntman, and assistant director before walking away from that world in the 1970s. Their mother, Joanne, worked as a paralegal. After leaving the film business, Jim moved the family to a horse farm in the rural town of Maple Ridge, just outside Vancouver. It was there that Drew and his brothers were introduced to hard work, responsibility, and the basics of entrepreneurship. Jim and Joanne believed strongly in self-reliance, and they made sure their children learned it early. At just 7 years old, the twins started their first business, a small company they called Jam Enterprises, short for Jonathan, Andrew, and Mom. They sold nylon-covered clothes hangers door to door in their neighborhood. What began as a simple idea didn't stay small for long. After receiving a large order from a woman who distributed American crafts to Japan, they quickly found themselves selling thousands. Life on the farm meant constant physical work. By the age of 8, Drew and Jonathan were already repairing fences, rebuilding barns, and maintaining structures around the property. These hands-on tasks didn't just teach them how to use tools, they showed them what it meant to start something and see it through. Even then, their interests were starting to take shape. The twins would often rearrange furniture in the family living room, experimenting with different layouts and designs. Instead of stopping them, their parents encouraged it. At Thomas Haney Secondary School, Drew stood out as an athlete, excelling in both basketball and volleyball. He had a serious ambition to play basketball professionally, a goal that shaped much of his youth. By this point, the pattern was already there, working with his hands, building from the ground up, and spotting opportunities early. These early experiences didn't just influence his future, they quietly set the direction he would follow for the rest of his career. Success came quickly, but the price he had to pay was far from small. An early career path and a turn to real estate. Between the two twins, Drew was always the one drawn to the spotlight. From an early age, he was performing theater, improv, even working as a party clown just to make money. But his main goal wasn't acting, it was basketball. He dreamed of going pro until a serious back injury ended it. Just like that, he had to start over. This time, he chose acting. He chased small roles, working behind the scenes as a body double for Tom Welling on Smallville, and picking up minor appearances on shows like Breaker High and Madison. But the reality was harsh. Work was inconsistent. Money was worse. He couldn't sustain himself. Then came a shift. While studying at the University of Calgary, Drew and Jonathan faced high housing costs and saw an opportunity. Instead of renting, they bought a 7-bedroom house, lived in the basement, and rented out the rest. It worked. Fast. The rent covered everything and then some. They didn't stop there. They started buying fixer-uppers, renovating them, and selling for-profit flipping houses before it became mainstream. Along the way, Drew kept dealing with real estate agents he didn't trust, so he made a move. He got licensed and took control of his own deals. In 2006, still chasing acting, he returned to Vancouver. But reality hit harder than ever. Opportunities were scarce. Debt piled up. Before long, he was nearly $100,000 in the hole. That was the breaking point. With bankruptcy looming, he made a choice step away from acting and go all in on real estate. He launched Scott Real Estate in Vancouver. This time, everything aligned. Drew handled clients and deals. Jonathan took over construction and design. It clicked. What started as a side hustle became something much bigger, the foundation of a global brand. But real estate wasn't the only path he was building. The birth of Property Brothers and its initial success. Even before becoming television personalities, Drew and his older brother James were already interested in production. In 2002, they co-founded an independent company called Davidian Production Group, creating short films and small projects. It didn't make them much money, but it gave Drew a real understanding of how the industry worked. After years of struggling as an actor, Drew started looking for a way to combine his two worlds, real estate and entertainment. He came up with a reality show idea called Realtor Idol, but no one picked it up. Instead of dropping it, he reshaped the concept into My Dream Home, a show about helping families find the right house. When he pitched it again, producers showed interest, but something was missing. Then came the question, does anyone in your family work in home design or construction? That changed everything. Drew thought of Jonathan, a licensed contractor, a designer, his identical twin. The idea instantly clicked: a real estate expert and a contractor working together as brothers. The producers saw it immediately. They shot a short sizzle reel and sent it out. Canada's W Network picked it up first. Soon after, HGTV acquired the rights. The show was renamed Property Brothers. When it premiered in 2011, it took off quickly. Drew found the properties, negotiated the deals, and guided the clients. Jonathan handled the design and the full renovation. Together, they turned rundown houses into dream homes. What made it work wasn't just the format, it was how they worked together. Sometimes in sync, sometimes clashing, but always pushing the project forward. And that was the turning point. What started as an idea no one wanted became the foundation of something much bigger, the moment that changed Drew Scott's career for good. Reaching the peak and expanding an empire. The success of Property Brothers didn't stop with the show. It opened the door to something bigger. Drew and Jonathan expanded their brand beyond a single series, launching multiple spin-offs that explored different sides of home buying and renovation. Shows like Forever Home, Brother vs. Brother, and Celebrity IOU helped them reach a wider audience and keep the momentum going. To handle the growing number of projects, they founded Scott Brothers Entertainment, giving them control over their own content and the ability to produce for others. They didn't stay in television. In 2016, they launched Scott Living, a home furnishings brand covering everything from furniture to decor. The response was immediate. The brand generated over $100 million in its first year. They later expanded into high-end custom homes with Dream Homes by Scott Living. By 2017, they brought everything together under one company, Scott Brothers Global, overseeing their media, retail, and licensing ventures. At the same time, they moved into publishing. Their book, Dream Home, 2016, offered practical advice, while their memoir, It Takes Two. Our Story, 2017, became a New York Times bestseller. They also created a children's book series, Builder Brothers, Big Plans, aimed at inspiring younger audiences. Drew's personal profile continued to rise. In 2017, he competed on Dancing with the Stars, reaching the finals and showing a different side of himself. In 2019, he appeared on Rock the Block. By this point, both brothers were no longer just home renovation experts. Through television, business, and media, they had built something much larger, a brand that extended far beyond the houses they renovated. The 2019 health crisis. Just as his career was reaching its zenith, Drew's life took an unexpected and frightening turn. In 2019, While filming the 7th season of Property Brothers, Forever Home, astute viewers began to notice that something was different. Drew's screen time was noticeably reduced. In many segments, Jonathan was seen working alone with the homeowners, a departure from the show's established format. This absence fueled widespread speculation. Rumors swirled online, with some fans guessing there was a falling out between the brothers, while others feared Drew was planning to leave the show for good. As the speculation intensified, Drew decided to address the rumors directly. He took to social media to share that he had been secretly battling a mysterious illness for months. He described his symptoms, which had started vaguely but had grown progressively worse. He suffered from what felt like a persistent, unending flu, along with severe digestive issues. He became extremely sensitive to heat and was plagued by a debilitating chronic fatigue that made it difficult for him to function. The condition became so severe that on some days he physically could not get out of bed. The journey to find a diagnosis was a long and frustrating ordeal. Drew consulted with numerous doctors and underwent a wide array of tests, but for months, no one could pinpoint the cause of his illness. This period of uncertainty was an immense psychological burden for both Drew and his entire family. Finally, after extensive and specialized testing, his medical team was able to provide an answer. Drew was diagnosed with a complex combination of two conditions: mercury poisoning and chronic fatigue syndrome. This diagnosis, while daunting, finally gave him a clear path forward for treatment. Due to his health, Drew was forced to significantly scale back his filming schedule. The weight of their shared professional responsibilities fell heavily on Jonathan's shoulders. He had to take on the bulk of the work, from client meetings and design planning to overseeing construction, all while worrying about his twin brother's health. It was an incredibly challenging time for the family, but their close bond helped them navigate the uncertainty and focus on Drew's recovery, family life, and current endeavors. Following his diagnosis, Drew embarked on a rigorous treatment and recovery plan. He focused on a comprehensive approach that included a strict diet, detoxification therapies, and a wellness regimen prescribed by his doctors. Slowly but surely, his health began to improve. He gradually regained his energy and his trademark optimistic spirit. Once he was strong enough, Drew made his full return to filming, rejoining Jonathan to continue building their shared empire. This health scare profoundly shifted Drew's perspective on life. He became a passionate advocate for physical and mental wellness, openly sharing his story to raise awareness about difficult-to-diagnose illnesses. He encourages others to listen to their bodies and to be persistent in seeking answers when something feels wrong. As he recovered professionally, Drew's personal life was also flourishing. He had met Linda Fan at a Toronto Fashion Week event in 2010. After a long courtship, the couple married in a beautiful ceremony in Italy in May 2018. In May 2022, they welcomed their first child, a son named Parker James Scott. Drew has been open about the joys and challenges of first-time fatherhood, especially while managing a demanding work schedule. He and Linda are also known for their commitment to an eco-friendly lifestyle, a value they hope to pass on to their son. Now, in 2024, Drew Scott shows no signs of slowing down. He and Jonathan continue to expand their television presence with new and exciting projects. On June 5, 2024, their new series, Backed by the Bros, premiered, in which they invest their own money to mentor and support promising real estate entrepreneurs. Another new show, Don't Hate Your House with the Property Brothers, was also launched, helping families who have fallen out of love with their homes to solve major functional issues. Alongside these new ventures, their popular established shows like Celebrity IOU continue to produce new seasons, attracting top-tier Hollywood talent. Drew Scott has made a full comeback, returning not only with restored health, but with a renewed appreciation for the balance between career, family, and well-being, philanthropy, accolades, and legacy. Beyond his success in business and television, Drew Scott has dedicated a significant amount of his time and resources to philanthropic causes. He and Jonathan consistently use their platform to support a wide range of charitable organizations. Drew is a passionate supporter of Artists for Peace and Justice, which aids communities in Haiti through education and healthcare initiatives. He has traveled to Haiti multiple times to be directly involved in the organization's work. He also serves as a global ambassador for World Vision, a humanitarian organization focused on helping children and families overcome poverty, and has been involved in campaigns to provide clean water to developing nations. The brothers have a long-standing partnership with Habitat for Humanity, the nonprofit that builds affordable housing for low-income families. They have not only donated funds, but have also frequently been on-site, working alongside volunteers to help build homes. In 2017, their commitment was recognized when they were named Habitat Humanitarians, the organization's highest honor. Drew has also been involved in initiatives like former First Lady Michelle Obama's Let's Read, Let's Move campaign to promote literacy and physical activity among children, and he supports the St. Baldrick's Foundation, which funds research for childhood cancer. His work has earned him numerous accolades, including a LEO Award in 2012, which honors excellence in British Columbia's film and television industry. In 2015, Property Brothers received a prestigious Emmy Award nomination for Outstanding Structured Reality Program. Drew Scott's journey is a remarkable story of perseverance. From a young boy selling nylon hangers on a farm, to a global television star, successful entrepreneur, and dedicated philanthropist, his path has been defined by resilience. He has overcome financial hardship and a serious health crisis to build an inspiring life and career. His legacy is not just in the beautiful homes he has helped create or the multi-million-dollar empire he has built, but in the powerful message that with hard work, adaptability, and a generous spirit, it is possible to achieve any dream. What are your thoughts on Drew Scott's journey? Share them in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories like this.